What's up, everybody? This is John with Archer Film. Thanks for watching, subscribing, commenting, all that good stuff. All right, this is number 3 in this quick blitz of movie reviews, very short reviews. Again, I'm doing these very short because none of these movies really warranted a long review. And I always implore you, if something looks good, just watch it yourself, form your own opinion. I'm only giving these short reviews for these because they don't warrant anything more, and just to kind of give you a sense of whether you should waste your time with them or not. There's so much stuff out there. Just because something is new or there's a lack of brand new movies, there's other great movies. There's thousands of movies that have been made throughout history, and you'll never see all the good ones. So just because something's new doesn't mean it's good. All right, this is the 4:30 movie by Kevin Smith. Now, I love Kevin Smith. I always have. He has a place in my heart ever since I saw Clerks. I thought it was hysterical. It was raunchy. It had heart. And the way he sort of made the movie himself, I will always love that dude. I just watched Clerks 3 not too long ago, and it was fantastic and surprisingly emotional. He's made some great films. Tusk is so much fun for a horror movie. Red State was really fun too. Jay and Silent Bob, all those things. I love those films. I've always been a fan of them. The humor's funny as hell to me. There's always a little bit of heart. Jason Lee kills it in those movies. Jason Mewes as well. And the thing is like, I feel like Kevin Smith can't get out of his own way. Like, he makes these raunchy comedies, and even when he makes a movie that's a little bit more serious, he still has to throw in the raunchy comedy. Like, Dogma was really smart, and then there's the poop monster. You know, Zack and Miri was really good, and then there was this crazy fecal scene, and you're just like, all right, you don't need that sometimes. So this movie, the 4:30 movie, it's very basic. It's like kind of based on Kevin Smith, not kind of, it's based on his childhood and just going to his love for movies and him trying to get a girl to go see a movie with him. And the girl that he likes, obviously. So it's about young love, and it's very cute and tender at times, and has some funny moments, and the cast is all really good. It's just the movie, I know it's supposed to be simple and the stakes are supposed to be low, but it just does. It all takes place like in one day, basically, except for a flashback. And there's just it's supposed to be all heart, and there really isn't a lot of heart. Like, there's just no, like, broader theme. It just seems so masturbatory, so nostalgic for himself. It's like, I'm just going to shoot this because this is the life I lived, and hopefully, and he's said this before, so hopefully someone will get something out of it. But you also have to, you know, if it's about your own life, you have to extrapolate what you think people will get out of it, what you think the meaning is. Like, you have to look back at your own life and not just look at the events that happened and why you feel strongly about them, but you have to analyze why you feel strongly about them, and are other people going to care? And my biggest problem with this movie is by the time it ends, you're like, young love, I guess. But there's nothing unique or interesting or even impactful or emotional about it. And coming-of-age stories, like, that is a genre in and of itself. You can analyze a dozen great coming-of-age stories and find the best ones. And, you know, it doesn't have to be as dark or as poignant as something like Stand By Me, but you can find other more lighthearted, you know, coming-of-age stories and just kind of go that way. But there's just so little at stake that I stopped caring. And then it just started repeating itself. You know, they get into arguments with the theater manager, and that's their biggest sort of villain throughout the course. And that just doesn't feel like any stakes at all. You know what I mean? Like, we know that movies are great, that he loves them, and we know that he wants to meet this girl there when the theater manager is like his biggest obstacle. But, you know, that just didn't feel... It just didn't feel like worth making a whole movie about it. And honestly, it wasn't really funny. I feel like in the past few years, you know, Kevin Smith is so much more woke than he used to be. You know, maybe he's so much more sensitive to the types of jokes that he makes. Like, even with Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, it was very sort of that time period where the woke stuff was taken over. And it just feels like he's pulling his punches. And in Clerks and like the original stuff, like, the humor came from how extreme he was, and, you know, anti-woke, you know what I mean, and anti-PC and all that stuff. And in this, it just feels like it's just not that funny. Like, I just never really found moments that were funny. And I just felt like the movie never breathed. It never felt like, what a charming little moment from a life or something. None of it felt authentic or real. Like I said, there's other coming-of-age movies that are way better. So 4:30 movie by Kevin Smith, I guess if you love Kevin Smith, but it just doesn't feel like it's even worth watching, let alone worth making. But anyway, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.